What up, Broncos country? Congratulations, AFC West Championship. How are we doing? I'm here with the main man, Dak. Dak, how are you feeling after Broncos wrapping up the division?
Oh man, I'm on cloud nine. I'm at the top of the Rocky Mountains with the way the Broncos season has gone. I'm so ecstatic, bro. With the big matchup coming Sunday, despite not having any Justin Herbert, but we'll get into everything. I'm excited though, bro. This is if you were to tell me that the Broncos were potentially going to clinch a AFC number one seed overall, bro, I would be telling you you're crazy, bro. So this is awesome, awesome feeling, surreal.
And I said AFC champs. I'm just getting ahead of myself. We're the division champs right now.
It's all good. I knew what you meant.
Listen, the reason I'm getting a writ and I gotta stop. We got a great show, but I gotta give props to Fanatic. If you would have seen him at the beginning of the season, we did our predictions, and a little shout out to Kinley too, because he's kind of on the number two. Um, this is exactly where he said we'd be at. This is the exact position that we're at. Um, Basically, he knew this game wouldn't matter, but it turns out it doesn't. Not necessarily that way, but it didn't matter to the Chargers because they're hanging it up. They're getting their subs in there. And a shout out to Kinley because Kinley said this would be a big game. He thought it'd be for the division. He was wrong on that one, but it's still a big game for the Broncos. But shout out to you, my dude. You freaking knew before anybody else knew, and I mean we got it in recorded, man. So,
Thanks, bro. I appreciate
how
that.
did you see? How did hindsight looking back? What do you think made you feel that way? That we end up in the spot we are.
I just kind of felt like just taking a look at the division, bro. I felt like was looking at the Chiefs to really take a step back. They really didn't make too many moves to really improve their team. They had about too many one score games last season, which is fine. We've been in a lot of one score games, but they didn't build on that, right? And then they had injuries this year, or what have you. They had to deal with that. And then the Chargers were the next best team, I think, and I liked what they did, some of the moves they made this offseason, and I kind of felt like, yeah, I mean, they would have give the Broncos a run for their money. But seeing the moves that we made, particularly through the draft and free agency, I was like, man, the sky's the limit. Despite when the Broncos won 10 games last season, they could build off of that. So that was kind of the hunch I had. I'm like, the Broncos just won 10 games. Why not add more to that? Why not add more W's for this season? So that's where I feel about that. Where
And I was pretty close too when it came to the Chiefs. I said we'd beat them both times, and I said that their time has come.
Yeah,
and it was both time. I thought we'd win a division, but no way did I think we were going to be a number one seed. And in fact, I am still shocked that we ended up here, but we ended up with the record we thought it, and it got it done. So, man, shout out to you guys. I mean, I've been watching the Broncos a long time, and I just thought again about, the 2015-2016 season with Von Miller and crew, the Super Bowls in Santa Clara. We were the number one seed there too. It took the last game. I believe it was against the Chargers too.
Yeah.
The general came back in during that game, Peyton Manning, the sheriff.
Peyton Manning, baby.
So just hearing the stuff that I'm saying, does this remind you of 2015?
This is Deja Orange and Blue. This is why we calling this episode this, man, because it's so reminiscent the way the both seasons have aligned. They are parallel to each other. There's so much similar, so many similarities, I should say, that I'm like, man, I'm scratching my head and I'm feeling like we've been here before. But that's the only difference now is we have Bo Nix and Sean Payton and a different defense. We have an elite, talented defender as well, like we did in 2015. Von Miller, you go back, you got Von Miller, and we got PS2, right? In terms of stars on the defense. So, but this is exciting.
I do got a couple questions for you when it comes to that. But before we even get to that, the last time we went through the gauntlet, we went through Ben Roethlisberger, Tom Brady, maybe the greatest of all time, right? And Cam Newton had one of the greatest seasons of all time. This year will be a little bit different, though. Not saying that these guys are not talented. I think these QBs are talented, but it's going to be somebody new from the AFC. How do you think the Broncos will hold up with these quarterbacks in the AFC?
Man, it's crazy. The AFC has really grown in terms of quarterback talent versus where we were back in 2015, right? Like you had maybe a handful of quarterbacks that could get it done in the AFC, and now you go down the list, maybe 1 through 15 on what 1 through 16 in the AFC, and you can make a case for a lot of quarterbacks, except for maybe Geno Smith on the Raiders, and maybe the Jets quarterback. But anyways, you know what I mean. Like the point is, there's so many talented quarterbacks, bro. If you just it's a quarterback league, and that's what this shows, man. Anybody has an opportunity to really win it. With the quarterbacks on these teams, you got Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, CJ Stroud, Bo Nix, Lamar Jackson if he's healthy with this, if the Ravens get in or whatever. We could go down the list of names, this is just the way the league is and where we're at, man. And I feel like the Broncos defense, if they generate pressure and get home to these talented quarterbacks, the sky's the limit, man. The sky is the limit for us to control time of possession or what have you in the playoffs. So I like our chances.
All right. I'm going to hit you with the hard questions, okay? They're tough. You can say tie if you want to, but, be tough, all right?
Okay.
All right, we got the 2025 Broncos and the 2015 Broncos. Who has a better defensive line? 2015, 2025.
Man, this you're gonna
I told you.
Pitchforks at my door.
Obviously,
I'm going to say currently at this time and point in time, I'm going to say the 2015 Denver Broncos D-line, creating pressure up the middle. They had Malik Jackson, Derek Wolfe, and then of course you have the other part of the front seven, Von Miller and all those guys. But their ability to create turnovers versus the defense that we have in 2025, that's why I give them the edge, right? You get the strip sacks and all that good stuff, along with that 2015 defense.
Oh, secondary. Who had a better secondary, 2015 or 2025?
2015, there's only one no-fly zone for a reason, man. You basically had two number one corners on each side. Chris Harris Jr. in the nickel, he could play the boundary. Talib himself, man. And then you have freaking TJ Ward and Darian Stewart, man. Bradley Roby, another guy, like, you got to give them the edge. With again, it comes down to them being able to create turnovers is what was a big difference maker for me. So,
all right, we'll go straight to one of the big questions. QB 2015. Who had a better one? Are you going to the Sheriff or Bo Nix? I know the right answer. Okay.
Peyton Manning, bro. You know what I mean? Let's call it what it is, bro. He's a legend. Even leading up to that point, he was a legend. Despite he wasn't as talented as Bo Nix was in terms of his athletic intangibles, but Sheriff Peyton Manning, right here, he had a way higher football IQ when it comes to reading defenses and manipulating the coverages or what have you, bro. So I gotta say Peyton Manning right here, man. Let's call it what it is. Bo Nix will get there, but he's not there yet.
Listen, Broncos country, I'd be throwing the challenge flag right now on that. Right now, compared to what Manning was in 2015, Bo Nix, we're in a better QB situation than Denver was in 2015. I firmly believe that. Listen, I watch film like crazy, Broncos country. Bo Nix is on the peak of greatness, and I'm hoping this is his run. All right, but all right, and I kind of know the answer to this one too, but I'll still ask it. Receivers, 2015 or 2025?
2015, man. You had E. Sanders, Demarius Thomas, rest in peace, man. Long live DT, man, all the way, Those two were just special. We have nothing nowhere close in that wide receiver room, bro. Let's call it what it is, like at all.
No, yeah, that's why I said I kind of know the answer, but I still wanted to ask it just to be on the record, okay, with it. Yeah, I'm excited. That was I remember those 2015 days. We're looking similar. Exactly, not enough turnovers, but similar. But looking at the NFL right now, who's your top five? The top five teams.
Looking at my top five, and do you mind if I add the standings to our list for viewers? Right now, bro, let's call it what it is. Denver's number one in the AFC for a reason. They're more well-rounded than I think a lot of teams are, 1 through 7, that Pittsburgh team isn't going to be in my top 5. So I would say Denver as my number 1. Man, it's tough. I'm really going to have to pick, but give me New England as number 2. Number 3, I have to go with Jacksonville. They did beat us, right? But they're special. And then my number 4 would have to be Buffalo, and then number 5, Houston.
Okay. Of course, my number 1 is the Broncos, not just in the AFC, but in the NFL.
Yeah, yeah. Right.
Here's a cool thing: is we got a chance to prove it. So we'll wait to do that. My number 2 might surprise people, but I think it's the Houston Texans.
Oh, okay.
Their defense is phenomenal. I'm a Bronco fan, so I won't admit that they're better than us. But if I could have another defense, I would have theirs.
Oh, yeah.
They're just fantastic. I mean, the only time Stingley is in trouble is when he plays us. That's the only time he struggles.
Cortland Sutton's his kryptonite. Everybody has
a kryptonite. Cortland's had him since year 1, but I'm not going to get into that. It is what it is. But
okay,
they are my number 2. My number 3 are the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Ooh, I like that.
A team that has beat the Broncos. You know, I felt we were a few plays away from winning that game also. So, but they are a good team. Shout out to the coach. He should be in there for Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
I hope he gets mentioned. I don't think the Texans coach will get mentioned, but they started off like 0-4 or something like that.
I think they were 0-3, and then they went on a run. So congrats to them. Shout out to them.
Shout out to them. They won't get recognition, but they are number 3. I think my number 4 might shock a lot of people, and I hate to admit it, but the Los Angeles Chargers.
Okay.
I think they're a very well coached team. They don't beat themselves too much. We're yet to see if they're gonna, put the load on Herbert to win him a game yet in the playoffs. But here's his chance. And 5th are the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah,
very good. Josh Allen's very good.
Yeah, Superman.
But I noticed that if Cook doesn't have a good game, they don't play well either. So fortunately for him, he's having a career year. So, so those are my top 5.
I like it. I like it.
So
that's really good.
So yeah, you think any on how do you feel about that second Texans one? You think?
I mean, man, like
they deserve to be up there.
Yeah, for sure. They deserve to. You can make a strong case of them being up there, number 2, number 3, of course, with their defense. I think for me, the reason why they weren't that high up is because the way the offense has been. Like it's kind of been what do you call it? Inconsistent. You just saw the game against the Chargers, not being able to really put up. They put 14 up.
I know a team.
They put up 14 points, and then after that, it was like the water got shut off for quite some time, and they had to end up edging that game out. Came to the final whistle, man. So that was tough. That was tough for the Chargers and Houston Texans. So that's a good example of why I didn't put them that high up, because of the offense.
So speaking of that, how do you think the playoffs turn out? How do you have that going for the teams? Who's winning? Who's losing?
Oh man, I think the Denver Broncos. I think man. I think the AFC, the way it comes out, Jacksonville, if they are the 3 seed, they'll be on this side, of course. Denver on this side, and they rematch in the AFC Championship. I think Jacksonville and Denver will be in the AFC Championship, if I'm not mistaken, if the way things fall the way it should. And then the Broncos go ahead and advance to the Super Bowl, bro. And I have them really potentially playing the Seattle Seahawks, in my opinion. And that would be like a rematch of Super Bowl 48. You know how bad that stung when we got the belt, the break speed off us 43-8. Maybe we return the favor this time around in this big game. What about you, bro?
Well, what it's tough for me to pick the Jags to move forward a little bit.
Okay.
I feel like that this first game is going to be tough for them against the Buffalo Bills. That's who they're going to play in the first round. I feel the same way though about New England. I feel they're going to end up playing the Chargers, and that's going to be a tough game for them.
Hold on, real quick, not to cut you off. Doesn't the Bills travel to the number 2 seed to play the Patriots?
I
The lowest
believe
versus the highest, right?
I think it'll switch coming up this week.
Okay,
because they're gonna beat the Jets and the Chargers are not gonna beat the Broncos.
Okay.
So as of now, that's how it looks.
Okay.
Next week that will be the case. Is the Buffalo we go to Jacksonville, and hence is why I kind of believe Jim Harbaugh didn't want that either, because he's like there was a chance that he ended up playing Jacksonville the first round.
Okay.
And the last time they went to Jacksonville, they got freaking murdered.
Yeah, they did. Jacksonville, good team, solid team.
So, unless the Bills tank against the Jets, which I don't think they're gonna do that. They got no reason to.
Yeah.
That's
fair.
But I mean, we don't know. For all we know, the Bills feel like they got a better chance versus the Patriots, and you're right. Maybe they decide, we'll stay where we're at.
Okay, I respect that. I like that.
But I'm looking forward to those matchups in the playoffs. None of that matters in the long scheme because I got Denver going to the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, for sure. Who would be the team that you would like to see the matchup against in the Super Bowl, bro?
I want to say it, but I don't want you guys to laugh at me. Okay. I personally, myself, I'm all about the get back. Okay. When I lose to a team, I want my get back. So if Lord has it, please give me Seattle or San Francisco. I want to play those two teams. They beat us in the Super Bowl before. I want my get back. I believe Ben Johnson and the Chicago Bears are going to go to the Super Bowl.
Whoa. Holy smokes.
They are hitting on all cylinders on offense. Like they are peaking at this moment. They just ran into Kyle Shanahan, who's always on it on offense.
Good coach.
Like he's always on it. I feel they have the elements to make the run, playing outdoors. I don't want to say some of these NFL players are soft because they'll all beat me up, right? But a lot of them don't want to play in those elements anymore, being outside.
Bears fans would love you. They're going to love you for that.
Being uncomfortable. So I have the Denver Broncos versus the Chicago Bears. Bo Nix wins 31-24.
Ooh, you're going to put a score in there, man. Jesus.
I put a score in there and everything.
You're going to put a score. I'm going to put a score. I feel like with Seattle and Denver, it'd be a low-scoring game, and I think Denver ends up winning 24-17 kind of thing. And I think it's funny because I was able to watch Bo Nix play Seattle for his first career start. It'd be nice to see him come full circle and match up with Mike McDonald's defense in the Super Bowl, having some familiarity, having played them the way he, of course, Bo has grown as a player. Mike McDonald's grown as a head coach, in the league. So it'd be interesting. You can make a lot of storylines out of that, for sure, for that matchup. I like the Bears one, and they have some rookies on their team that are making an impact for the Bears. Luther Burden, who was a guy that I had my eyes on, and also Colston Loveland making noise at the tight end position, bro.
There is somebody on the Buckup that didn't like Colston Loveland. I'm not going to say his name, but there was a guy who swore against it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say his name, but I know I wanted Loveland.
I did too.
So
that's for another day, though.
Exactly.
Yeah, dude, it's kind of crazy, bro. Like we're talking about this, and it's like it's really deja vu for sure, man. Full circle, have everything's played out. Playing in Santa Clara, for the Super Bowl 60, and the last time we were there, Super Bowl 50. So many similarities with the teams or whatever. It's so crazy. Winning one-score games, being the underdog, but for Bo Nix being the overdogs. If you ask Bo Nix, they're the overdogs. But it's like too many people make too much of us winning one-score games. But this is where it matters the most. When the game slowed down and it's closer in the playoffs, you're built for that. You know how to win those close games. You're not winning these marginal victories or these flashy wins because we saw what the Panthers did. Remember, they were 15
those are
and 1.
easy.
They were
those
flashy.
Are easy.
Right.
Flashy wins
but
are
what
easy.
What happened when the shit hit the fan, bro? They lost.
Tuck their tail. Wouldn't even die for football.
Exactly. So keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. Let people say what they want about the Broncos winning these one-score games. They're 11-2 in one-score games. So, real quick, I'm going to just say this real quick. They're 11-2 in one-score games. This year, they've learned to win those one-score games. Next year, they become a juggernaut because they'll have the dead cap off, of Russell Wilson's dead cap will be gone. They'll have all their salary cap and draft capital. So, I'm just saying, later down the road, they become juggernauts.
Well, I don't believe you because I think it's going to happen in the playoffs.
Oh!
So you can wait till next year all you want.
That. I would love that.
Like I say, I think this is where everybody learns to believe. Bronco country already believes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But this is where the national media gets to see who Bo Nix potentially will become for the Denver Broncos. And for the next several years, you guys will hate him just like you hated Patrick Mahomes. But he's our guy.
He's clutching the fourth quarter, bro. You've seen it time and time again. If the game is just close, you have a shot, and he will will you to a win. He's shown that this season.
At the same time, too, Bo, don't be scared to win by 14 or 21. We'll be okay.
That's okay too.
Yeah. That's okay too. We just want you to know that's okay too.
Yeah,
so
yeah. I'm excited, bro. I'm so excited. Now this was a good conversation. So let's see what happens with Sunday's game. What do you think happens in Sunday's game, real quick, prediction wise?
I know people don't like it, but I think we win 24-14.
Okay.
I know they're gonna ask why we don't do more and why the last 3 games Sean Payton came out with the game plan he did. It's because he can. It's because we're that good, and he does not need to show his hand anymore.
Yeah, you could be vanilla with your offense the way you call it, not show your hand.
We can be vanilla and still win. Yeah, and I know you guys see orange sherbet, mint and chip, all the other good flavors. You want that for your life. I'm not going to lie. I wanted to be the Detroit Lions offense. Look where they're at.
They're in Cancun, right?
Yeah, in Cancun. So
yes.
Be careful what you ask for, Broncos country.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So vanilla is tasting delicious. It has got us to the number 1 seed. I was a critic of it early. I am no longer a critic of it. It's working. Let's do it. But I expect to see a different Bo in the playoffs. I expect him to show why he is Bo Nix.
Yeah, I think Sean Payton, when I say vanilla too, like even going up against the Chargers, you don't want to open up the playbook too much, right? Like you want to kind of keep your playbook close to you and really open it up in the playoffs, because if not, you get that stuff on tape and then you're like, oh shit, you know what I mean? Type of thing. So I think if we can just play the competition that we have with the vanilla offense, fine, we're good, But
and if you guys don't think the tape matters, ask the Seattle Seahawks when the Patriots got that interception, because they saw that on tape at the end of the season.
That's a good point, man. That's a really good point.
So it matters. It was a great show. What do you got this week for the fans? What you doing? Where will you be at? You're going to be on the orange and blue this week?
I had check out, ladies and gentlemen, the Broncos Bros. We did a playoff prediction kind of thing last night. I have Seattle in that one as well, matching up against Denver. Check that out on Orange and Blue Network. Please follow me at Denver DMark, as you see down below on Twitter. Always love good conversation with all the fans. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We're at 288 last I checked. We're trying to hit 300 before season ends. We love to talk with you guys and interact with all the fans for sure.
Yeah, make sure you follow him, follow the Buckham and stuff like that. Yes. Follow Kinley. These guys have been doing a fantastic job this year. I mean, I'm blessed to be a part of it. It's like being part of your favorite band. These are guys that I went to watch before I was doing this, and now I'm like, oh dang, now I get to see the content live and close and be a part of it every once in a
Yeah,
while.
hell yeah, and it's a lot of fun.
So please, yeah, a lot of fun. Tune into Kinley and Fanatic. They're great at what they do. And remember Bronco Country. And if it ain't about the Broncos, buck 'em.
Mile high salute to you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good night.